good morning, Poppa-D riders. I hope you guys are all well today. I am headed to Widowmaker Custom Designs to get my Zippers red shift cam installed into the bike. Dan at Zippers hooked me up with Hank here at Widow Custom Makers Designs, and we finally got our schedules aligned, and mainly that was me trying to get my schedule cleared out so I could come up here and get this installed. So I'm headed there today, and we're going to get a video and look at all they're going to do to the bike and install this cam, get her tuned up, and I'll head back home tomorrow. So Hank's going to have the bike today and tomorrow, and hopefully get the work done by tomorrow afternoon, and then I'll head on back to the house. And then I'm headed to Run to the Hills 5 this coming up weekend. So I hope to see you guys there at Run to Hills 5 Traveling Talls event. As you know, I won this cam last year at last year's Traveling Talls event. And so, you know, when I won the cam, they were still designing the red shift cam for the 24 bikes. And then by the time they got it designed, I was out of commission with my knee and really wasn't able to get anything set up. So I held off even contacting Dan because I didn't know when I'd be able to do anything. And he actually finally reached out to me and got in contact with me, and we got things set up. And it's just taken me this long to get this done. So that's on me, nobody else. But I am so excited to get this cam installed into the bike and get that performance increase and upgrade on my 2024 Road Glide. So let's get into the video, guys. So Dan at Zippers Performance says that Hank here at Widowmaker Custom Designs is one of the best installers on the East Coast, and really recommends his work. So I've been communicating with Hank for the past couple of months to get things arranged so I can get out here today, get our schedules aligned. And mainly it was my schedule that needed to be arranged so I could do it. I've been working a lot this year. And so we're headed out here now to Rogemont, North Carolina, to Widowmaker Custom Designs to get this cam installed. And Rogemont is out in the country between Durham and Roxborough, North Carolina. And I believe that Hank runs Widowmaker Custom Designs out of a shop right there at his house. And so he does the work, and then he tunes the bike. We're going to be installing the Thunder Max auto tune for the 2024 Road Glides on the bike, and the Zippers red shift cam. So when we get there, we'll let the bike cool down, and Hank's going to sit down and explain to us exactly what he's going to do to the bike, and then we'll get the work done. All right, guys, we're at Widowmaker Custom Designs in Mariah, North Carolina, out of Rougemont, close to Rougemont, North Carolina. I'm probably not saying that right, but anyhow, I got Hank here. He's getting ready to start working on the bike. Actually, he's already there. He's going to tell us what he's going to be doing on the bike here.
All right. So today we've got New Milwaukee doing a red shift 528 cam install. So it'd be it's nice gains of performance.
Awesome. And that's the cam I won last year at Traveling Talls event. And he's got a nice shop here. We got 3 generations of Road Glides in here. This black one is actually Hank's 2019. He's done a lot of work on. Tell me about it, Hank. What is it? Wow, that's beautiful.
100% handle. I did the frame. The frame was actually an Evo. Frames for an Evo motor transmission. I cut all the motor mounts out. I cut the back half of the frame off. Made the motor mounts to fit the Milwaukee 8 motor. Hung that in there, and then I remade the entire back half of the frame. Made this is the rear fender was actually the gas tank.
I was wondering, I knew this wasn't the gas tank anymore.
So I made this pseudo gas tank. All the electronics will be inside in here to include battery and all that stuff. And then I made the intake. I built the motor to a 124. I made the chin fairing, made the 4 controls. I made the handlebars. Had the wheels made from SMT machining. The only thing left to finish up now is to finish wiring.
You making this for your son?
No.
No? You just started it when he went in?
Yeah. I was slated to take it to the Big Boys Toys show in Vegas. And they ended up, because of COVID, they ended up pushing the event back until the weekend before he graduated from boot camp.
Okay.
So I had to go to boot camp. I wasn't going to.
Oh, absolutely. You got to be there for that.
Yeah.
So will you eventually maybe take it to that Big Boy show? If you can get back into the lineup?
Yeah. Maybe.
Hand-built Evo frame. Wow. That is awesome. It's a lot of talent, man.
Thank you.
A lot of talent, absolutely.
And the panels inside of the pseudo gas tank?
Yes.
Those are they're plexiglass flame panels.
Plexiglass?
So you'll be able to see inside here.
You'll be able to see this.
Mm-hmm.
And the battery's going to be in here.
Yep. So the VCM is right here. The ECM is in here. Well, the ECM will actually mount up here.
Okay.
And then the battery mounts on the other side.
Awesome. Because what Hank's telling me is that Harley, these lobes are pressed into that shaft, not machined out of one piece, like this Zippers performance cam we got here. 528 cam going into the bike today. We still got to take out the oil pump. And, well, no, that's staying in. So, cam. We're replacing the sprockets and the cam tensioner with this Zippers performance. We're going to use Zippers lifters, S&S tappet covers there.
That seal was actually one of the changes in the oil pumps in 2019.
Right.
And then in 2020, they changed these two cavities. This one draws from your crankcase. This draws from your cam.
Yeah, because
this draws
before
from
they
your
did that, they were blowing out and transferring oil into the engine.
Well,
you
were scavenging. You weren't scavenging. You were sumping the motor.
Something. That's what it was. Yeah,
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
And that's the major changes they made.
Yeah. So by doing this, they were able to seal off the cam chest from the crankcase.
Okay.
So then they changed the size of these two passages, which where you're pulling oil from your crankcase. This is where this goes into there, and it's pulling oil out of there, and that's pulling oil from here out of the cam chest. So they changed the sizes. You can actually visibly see the different sizes of the cavity to control that sumping issue.
I know they had a lot of issues before that, and they were replacing a bunch of them through dealership warranties.
Yes.
And that's why Harley changed this.
Yeah.
And that's when S&S got really,
And
they fixed that problem before Harley did.
Yeah. Well, and I like the S&S oil pump because it's got 3 pumps in it.
Okay.
It's got your supply pump where you're pulling oil from your oil tank, but then you've got two scavenging pumps. You've got one pump that's designated to the crankcase and one that's designated to the camshaft. So the whole problem with the Harley pump was that it would run out of oil here.
Okay.
So when it's a G-rotor pump, so it's a positive displacement pump. If it gets an air bubble in it, that's it. It stops moving oil. So if it all of a sudden runs out of oil in the camshaft, it stops pulling from the crankcase because it's going to pull air faster than it's going to pull liquid. So then all of a sudden you've got oil coming in and you're not sending any back. The engine fills up with oil. And then
that was a something problem. That's what caused it.
And then all of a sudden it becomes a compounding problem, whereas it starts beating the oil because the crankshaft starts beating oil in the crankcase and it starts foaming up. Well, now not only did you draw air, now you have air.
Okay.
So you can't return anything. So then it will self-correct. Most people stop and they cut the bike off. The best thing to do is stop, let the bike idle. And it'll, over a short period of time, it'll level itself out.
Okay.
You just have to slow the engine down for long enough for it to actually catch back up.
Okay. But if somebody has an early M8, like 17, 18, 19.
I don't care if you don't put a camshaft in it.
Just change that oil pump.
Change the damn oil pump.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Okay.
God.
For sure.
Yeah. Myself, like I said, typically I use S&S oil pumps.
Yeah.
I've had great success with them.
So you're getting ready to measure the run out of the crank.
Yeah.
Okay. So talking to Hank here, a common issue with Harley cranks is they're not out of spec, but there's a run out on them. And what did you say if it's between 0 and 5 thousandths?
Realistically, we want to be below 2. We want to be somewhere between 2.5 to 3 thousandths.
So 2.5, 3 thousandths. He says it's that good. I need to buy a lottery ticket today.
Yeah.
Harley spec
2 to 12.
2 to 12, which Hank says is like a football field. And so if yours is 7 thousandths out and maybe causes you an issue, it's still within Harley specs. If you go to the dealership and say, hey, my crank's 7 thousandths out, they're not going to do anything about it. So that's been a common issue, and it gives us an idea of how long this is going to last before I may have to do something. Is this the moment of truth?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's it. Buy a lottery ticket.
Buy a lottery ticket. What is it?
2 thousandths.
2 thousandths.
So,
woohoo!
watch here.
Okay.
So we're at 0.
Right.
Just over 2 thousandths.
Just over 2 thousandths.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm gonna buy a lottery ticket.
I would.
What number should I put in there?
2.
Two needs to be one of the numbers on the lottery ticket. You know, they say to win the lottery, you have to be in the lottery, and I don't ever play it. My brother likes to play it, but I'm not. I don't do the lottery. Not much of a gambler. But that's awesome.
That's fantastic. Oh my God,
I understand that.
Now,
Watching for smooth of the lifters coming up and
make
down.
sure the lifters are moving. Want to make sure we're starting to push it oil. We're pushing oil up into the lifters.
Okay. And we are. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah. Then we get all the air was out of the pump. You could hear it audibly come out. So all that stuff's ready to go.
Well, there she goes, guys. Hank's going to ride her, and if she's good to go, we're going to ride her home, let the auto-tune do its thing. Man, I tell you what, Hank does a phenomenal job. He's very meticulous. This went a lot smoother than he thought it would go. This is the first new generation of M8 that he's put a cam in, so he wasn't sure exactly where it was going to go. But done a phenomenal job, and all of everything's good when he gets back. I'm headed to the house. So what you think?
I think you'll be happy with that.
Me likes. All right, guys, we're all done, but I want Hank to tell us about the shop a little bit here.
So my name's Hank Thibodeau, Widowmaker Custom Design and Repair. Been here in the shop for the last 22 years, doing everything from fabrication, tires and service to everything related to motorcycles. Give us a call. I'd be glad to take care of it, get you fixed up.
Awesome. And this guy fabricates bikes, makes bike, has finished 4th in the National Biker Field-Off. Is that, am I saying that right?
Easy
Rider. Yeah, 4th place. So I've got some of those in the video. You probably already saw those, but man, come see him. Give him some business. By appointment only, so don't just roll up to his shop. Call him ahead of time. All right, guys, I am leaving Widowmaker Custom Designs. Hank did a phenomenal job. We had one little hiccup, but we had to, well, I say we like I did something. Hank had to, because I'm sticking with the stock head pipes, Hank had to cut holes in the head pipes and weld in these O2 sensor bungs for the Thunder Max tuner. And the first time he put them on there, they needed to have a little bit different angle. So he had to take the head pipe, put the head pipe on, took the head pipe back off, had to cut down by the weld and to kind of bend those out a little bit, give them a little bit more room to install those bungs, and then put it right back in. So the whole process really went relatively smooth. But basically, he took the old cam, took the cam chest off, took the cam cover off, cam plate cover. Talked to me a little bit about the oil pump. Showed me some stuff in there. The earlier model Gen 8s or the earlier model M8s had some problem with sumping issues with the oil pump, as most of you guys know. We talked about why that happened and the changes that Harley made in those. Normally he would do an S&S pump, but Harley has improved their design to the point that Zippers has confidence in it, so now Hank has confidence in it. But we did replace the cam sprockets, the cam tensioner. He did a run out on my crankshaft to make sure that it, to see where it was at as far as the tolerance goes, and it was within 2 thousandths, which is right on where we wanted. He told me to go buy a lottery ticket. And then we just took everything apart, took out the old cam, looked at the endurance of those. The lobes on those are pressed on. Instead of it being a milled machined part, they pressed those onto the camshaft. And then we looked at the Zippers camshaft. He installed that stuff, bolted it all back on the bike, worked on the exhaust system, got that back on the bike. And that was the biggest complaint. We had a bug just flew right and hit me right in the middle of the head. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. Either way, then he registered my Thunder Max tuner, installed the base map into the bike, took it for a ride, and then I took it for a ride, and now I'm on the way home. And this auto tuner will take that base map, which knows that I have the Zippers Performance 528 cam in the bike, and so it will constantly sniff and adjust the air to fuel ratio depending on where I'm at and what I'm doing, and it'll adapt to my style of riding. And guys, there is such an improvement already. I mean, I felt it when I first left his house back there on the little test ride I did. And so I'm getting ready to get out on the interstate in a few minutes and ride this bad boy to the house. And then I will be at Traveling Tall's Run to the Hills 5. I'm headed up Thursday. Bart and I have been talking. We may try to get up there in time to do the water run that Tony and Tall have put together to help the folks up in Tennessee. If you hadn't heard about that, check out one of Tall's recent videos. Knoxville Harley-Davidson is sponsoring that, and they are basically the same family as Bootlegger, which sponsors Traveling Tall's event. And Tony Robinson, that used to work over at Bootlegger, is now at Knoxville Harley-Davidson. Him and my buddy George O'Bannon work there, so go by and see them. It's basically about 10 miles from the other dealership. Either way, they're going to leave Knoxville Harley-Davidson and ride to London, Kentucky, and take some water up there. So that's the plan. And but they're leaving at 9 o'clock in the morning. So if we go up there, we're going to have to leave real early. Either way, I'll be at Traveling Tall's event. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to thanking Dan in person, Dan Fitzpatrick with Zippers Performance, for this cam and for hooking me up with Hank to get the install done. And yeah, I'm excited. And let's head to the house. All right, guys, this is my exit. I'm almost back to the house after going up to Widowmaker Custom Designs today and having the cam installed. I want to thank Hank for all the hard work he did today and getting this Zippers Performance cam installed on the bike and loading the map on the Thundermax tuner, putting the other two bungs into my stock head pipes so that we can complete this install. I want to once again thank Zippers Performance for sponsoring Traveling Tall's event and allowing me to win this thing last year, which is pretty freaking awesome. I was so excited when it happened and just wasn't able to get it done till now, and that's on me. But man, Dan at Zippers, I really appreciate this, sir, and I will see you in a couple of days. I am headed to Run to the Hills 5 in just a couple of days. In this video, hopefully I can get home tonight and do some editing and get it put back together. But let's see here. I have put right at 168 miles on the bike since the cam was installed, and it's still having to learn how to, I guess, estimate fuel range and that kind of thing. But man, a drastic improvement in torque and rideability and everything else, and I love the sound of it. So all right, guys, I appreciate you watching my videos, and I want you to get out there and live life and make memories, and I'll catch you on the next ride. Poppa-D out.